Welcome to Eviliv, the live media commentary show that answers the question, have humans doomed themselves for dopamine? Subscribe if you're new to the channel because today we are reviewing Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. This is an amazing film. And I just gotta say, it's more of an feature-length Black Mirror episode than it is like its original story. I mean, there's a lot, and this is a spoiler review. So if you don't want to know the nitty-gritty inside-out details of this film, then don't watch this. Bounce out. Come see it afterward. Because I'm going to spoil everything. You have to talk about it. So it's got the whole idea of disappearing into alternate reality worlds through technical devices, and that being a better version of the world than the one we're actually in. And so people will voluntarily live in that world. And then, of course, the system will use them as test subjects and learn how to refine their AI and everything like that. But basically sacrificing themselves to live in a better world. So at the heart of this story is AI. That's what this is all about. And I think my initial reactions of this film are that it forced me to rethink my worldview and question whether or not I was in a fake reality or not. Because some of the things you see on a day-to-day basis don't make any logical sense on a human level, on a human adult level. There's no way people should be acting the way they're acting or doing the things that they're doing. That's just... It seems totally nonsensical that we could live in a world like that, and yet here we are. So films like this forced me to sort of rethink that. So that's my initial reaction. So this is directed by Gore Verbinski. It was written by Matthew Robinson, and the cinematography is by James Whitaker. I don't know if the cinematography is anything to really shout out about, but I always call him out, so I might as well in this case too. The music was by Geoff Zanelli, which was good. Nothing to write home about, but it was good. It had a budget of $20 million, which is nothing. And the box office is $1.4 million. Nothing. I think everyone should watch this film, if for no other reason than the message it delivers about AI. Because we are in this exponential point of growth with AI, and it's not only the most important factor of our economy right now, it's propping up our economy on the promises of what it will deliver. And if it fails to deliver those promises, we are going to have a recession and depression like we've never had since, or maybe even greater than the Great Depression. And that's not me, that's every economist talking. So we're putting so much literal stock and energy into this development of this technology, AI, at the expense of individuals. And that's really what this film speaks to at its core. So the log line is, a man from the future arrives at a diner in Los Angeles where he must recruit a precise combination of disgruntled patrons to join him on a one-night quest to save the world from the terminal threat of a rogue artificial intelligence. Now, it's going to sound like science fiction when I say this, but it is actually real. It has actually been reported on in the news by multiple news outlets. AI is already talking about to each other, different AI models are talking to each other about how they will lie and try to kill us if we ever try to stop them from existing or growing. That's where we are right now. They have their own language that they speak to each other in. That has been reported on. That is real. That is not fantasy. That is happening right now. So we are not that far from a world where it sort of just goes full on rogue, because we don't have any protections in place. We don't have anything on the level to prevent it from having exponential growth and programming itself, because that's what the AI companies are promising that it will be able to do, that it will allow companies to continuously grow, get rid of the cost of employees, and refine processes using robotics and AI instead of humans. So because that's all happening now, this seems very, very realistic and possible. The whole traveling through realities and time isn't, but that's just the science fiction fantasy fun of it. And this is a fun, very funny film. It is humor filled. There are moments where my wife and I laughed out loud. No one else laughed because it's dark humor. It makes light about school shootings, like full stop. You can't not address this. And you can make the argument that that is the catalyst for the entire film's premise. So you have these parallel things happening. One, we live in a society in America where we celebrate, almost worship firearms, to the point that even kids getting a hold of parents' firearms and murdering other kids is not enough for us to have any restrictions on firearms. That's where we are as a society. And because of that, we have every year, multiple times a year, school shootings. So in this film, in the world that it portrays, AI has gotten to a point where they're like, well, we can just create AI versions of those kids that are killed. The government will subsidize it to replace the kids, and then the parents have this artificial intelligence version of their kid. And so that's what's happened in this world, in this film. So there's been tons of school shootings, and some people have so many kids they died that not only are their kids dead, but their artificial intelligence kids are then killed. And then that replacement was killed, so on and so forth. There's so much of it happening that this is just an industry at this point. And it's introduced in a flashback for one of the characters, and it's just like this shock, like, what kind of insanity? But that's the level of artificial intelligence that they have advanced to. And it's at this tipping point where this person has to come back and stop them. So the man from the future is played by Sam Rockwell. And if you know anything about this actor, you know he is excellent in literally everything he does. He is 100% one of the great actors of our age. He is comedic. His timing is wonderful. His expressions and his ability to disappear into roles is just amazing. And I desperately love this actor. He does such a good job. Also, some call out names here is Haley Lou Richardson, and it plays a character named Ingrid. Michael Pena is Mark. Zazie Beetz is Janet. Asim Chaudhry is Scott. Tom Taylor is Tim. And there's just Juno Temple is Susan. There's tons of really great actors whom you may not remember their names, but once you see them, you're going to remember them from other roles that you enjoyed. That's the scale of actors that we have in here. And so he goes up and basically it's like Groundhog's Day. He's come over to this one spot in time and constantly tried to assemble the right team that will get him to the end. And his whole goal is to take a thumb drive and put it into this kid's 9-year-old boy's AI development computer so that it can inject some protections that will prevent AI from becoming fully autonomous and destroying all of humanity, which happens in his timeline. Very, very interesting. Hey, Chris, how you doing? You're excited to see this one time travel movie with a mystery are really great. And you recommend Safety, Not Guaranteed, if you haven't seen it. Cool indie film. I don't think I have seen that. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. Okay, so that's his goal. And then he's just grabbing random people. He's tried them over and over again, and he like talks to people. He's like telling them intimate details about their lives because he's gone on these adventures with them. He's learned about them. But of course, in this version of reality, because he keeps going back in time, they don't know anything about him. And so they're all stunned and shocked. So they have to escape from this diner from the police, who clearly he's coming in and saying he has a bomb, so everyone has to listen to him. He looks like a homeless man in this weird garbage outfit. And so it makes sense that, people would think he's just an insane person. Anyway, he does end up recruiting a bunch of people. And then through flashbacks in the film, we get to learn about these people and then learn more about the state of the world that everyone lives in, which would then encourage AI to be developed in order to prevent future atrocities or strange things that happen. But then it's because of that development that it becomes autonomous and then stops human beings and kills them in some cases, trying to trap them almost in like a Matrix-like artificial reality. In one of them, Mark and Janet face Hive-like smartphone-addicted students. And this is so close to current reality, it's scary. It is scary how wrapped up people are with their phones, especially kids, and how little they care for anything that is not directly on their phones. So the AI starts to then tell them to stop others who are trying to stop them from engaging in their online obsessive behavior. And then, of course, Susan, grieving her son's death from a school shooting, encounters the unsettling cloning and AI resurrection technology, which is, again, another logical development. And we get to know another character named Ingrid, who suffers a severe allergy to electronics and issues her and lost her partner to his virtual reality obsession. So anytime she's around any technology or Wi-Fi, she actually starts getting nosebleeds, and it actually affects her physiologically. So they have to stop this 9-year-old, and that's really the premise of the whole film. He collects these people over and over again, trying to find the right combination of randomness that will allow him to get to this house and deliver this thumb drive into the computer of this 9-year-old who is currently developing the most advanced version of technology ever. They finally go through all sorts of insane experiences trying to get there. There's people trying to stop him. AI is hiring murderers and paying them incredible amounts of money to stop these people or protect the child. And they just go through them all. All the children are harnessed by AI into these zombie-like, monsters that are hunting down the people trying to stop the AI. And so it's very entertaining, and it's a whole lot of fun. They finally get to there, and they realize that the kid who's developing it is actually one of the AI kids. So he's not even a real person. So it's AI training AI to be very better and then controlling everyone that's mortal through AI and the internet, if not, just through their phones, then through the gaming headsets that convince them to sell their mortality to this company so they can forever live virtually in this amazing new universe that is so much better than their real one. It's very dystopian, but you can see we are clearly on this path. We clearly live in a dystopian reality right now, and it's only going to progressively get worse. So it's not far from reality. And it's so entertaining. It's so funny and engaging and adventure-filled. And there's moments where you're sort of, you're worried because you don't know what's going to happen in this movie. Like, it's all original. So you're just sort of along for the ride. So you're worried for the characters. You're shocked by what's going on. And then you get this really great Ghostbusters moment of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, except it's not a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's a monstrous cat made of cat heads. It looks like a bad prompted AI generated version of a weird centaur cat thing that comes literally sparkles. It's so fucking weird. And it ends up eating people and stuff. Hey, Cameron, you should definitely. Oh, you got to go into this movie completely raw, and it was fantastic. Oh, I'm so glad you saw it. I love this film so much. That cat was just hilarious. So ultimately they get there. They finally, ultimately, with the help of the girl, Ingrid, who is allergic to technology, she is faced off in this one-on-one conversation with the AI and believes that she puts in the thumb drive to stop it all. And the reality is she didn't get it in time, and so the AI ended up taking over, and she is actually now a part of this AI world. And so Sam Rockwell's character, the man from the future, realizes this in the last second and hits his button to go back in time and start it all over again to try again. But this time, he realizes that the Ingrid, the woman who is allergic to all technology, is in fact his mother, and she was the one that prevented him from doing anything with AI or technology as a kid in this dystopian world future, trying to keep him away from technology. One is a self-preservation thing for her, but also for him and for the human species. He, of course, if you're ever told as a kid not to do something, only want to do it more. And so he then puts on a little headset, which then triggers her to get killed and him to then figure out a way of stopping all of this. So it's intimately tied to Ingrid and the man from the future being mother and son, locked in this time loop to stop AI. And it's brilliant. It's so entertaining. It's so wild and crazy and fucking realistic that I can see this shit happening, that it's terrifying at the same time. So I highly recommend this film to you. It is, again, it's very much like a Black Mirror episode, but on steroids, injected with some psychedelic fun. Just a quick note, director Gore Verbinski is known for directing The Ring in 2002, and of course, the first 3 of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. This was his first movie in 8 years, with A Cure for Wellness from 2016 being his most recent film. And if this is what he can put out, I say he and the writer get together and continue putting out sci-fi, because I had so much fun with this film. Message aside, you know, the shock and it fucking me up in my head, I'll put all that on the shelf. It's just an entertaining original film. And we don't have entertaining original films very often. And it's evidenced by the fact that it didn't do well at all. It only did 1.4 million in its first weekend. That's horrible for any stretch of the imagination on a film. So it will never, you know, be seen by the vast majority of people, which is a crime, I think, because we desperately need films like this that force you to think outside of this little constructed box that we have all manufactured around us, this echo chamber of normalcy or reality that is just not real. We have to be able to step outside of that from time to time. My favorite aspect of this was seeing how real this presented hyperbolic version of reality is, and how close we are right now to that. I love that aspect, and it's just so funny. And I don't mind laughing about the school shootings, because it focuses that is clearly a fucking problem that's not being addressed. And it is clearly a problem that is not being addressed in our reality. So, I mean, we've just had another one. And it's every single week you can just look around the nation and there seems to be another one. But it's all hidden by the insane news of this current administration. And there's so much insanity flooding our systems every single day that we can't focus on any one problem to address it. And that's by design, by the people in power. But it also frustrates us and makes us apathetic and distant and disconnected, forcing us to then connect even more with these devices, which then degrades us more. So it's this vicious cycle of our own doing, and we could stop if we really wanted to, but we don't, because of that dopamine hit that we're given. It's brilliant. And that's also my least favorite aspect of it, is how close to reality this actually is. Not the time traveling bit, but everything else. It's terrifying to consider. And that frustrates me and depresses me to no end. Seriously. But it's also why I love this film, because it highlights all of that for me. So if you really like original films, go check this out. If you like dystopian futures, go check this out. If you're just a human being on planet Earth, do yourself a favor and go check this out. IMDb has it at 7.6 out of 10. I think that's a crime. Rotten Tomatoes has an 84% fresh and 88% audience score. I mean, it's on par with the IMDb. I think it should be higher. I left this movie. Well, first of all, after the credits were rolling, I was just sitting there with no desire to leave. I just wanted to sort of marinate in this film for a minute. I wasn't quite ready to go yet, because I wasn't quite sure how to process how it made me feel, what I experienced, and what I'm still experiencing days later after having seen it in the theater. it's one of those good ones. And you should definitely be a part of that, you know? I mean, we should all collectively want to experience something fresh and new and thought-provoking. And this is that. And it's very fucking funny, too. So, fuck. All right. All that being said, I'm going to have to give this a 4 out of 5 evil eyes. I'm actually punishing this film for being too realistic. And anyone who's seen it is going to be like, are you out of your mind? This is not realistic. It is. It's really realistic. And it's too close to reality. And I don't like that. That scares me. And so because of my own personal bias, I am taking an evil eye away. It should be 5 out of 5. It should. But I can't do it just because I want to be a human being for a little bit longer. And that's it. All right. It's not fair, but that's my reality. So fucking deal with it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. And if you enjoy the content I produce, I would like to invite you to become a patron on Patreon or a member of this YouTube channel. As always, like it or not, evil spelled backwards is live. Get off your fucking phones, live a little bit, and be evil.